Anyone?
Orlando Ross will be speaking for AIM.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? I think we are going to have to amend to attach the IPER report, which I think looks okay. Any other questions or requests? All right, next item is 22-01865. This has to do with kind of cleaning up some account numbers within Oracle. Who will be speaking to this? This is for Public Works, I believe. Who will be speaking to this?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Melissa Davis, and I'll be speaking to this paper.
Okay. Questions or requests for information from my colleagues on that one? Okay, items number 8, 9, 10, and 15 are council carry forward to or donations. So there's 22-01868, 69, 70, and 1880. So I'll likely take those as a block. Any requests, more questions from my colleagues on those? All right. Item number 11, 22-01872. This is the creation of the Office of Sustainability and Resilience. So who from the administration will be speaking to this?
This is Chandra Farley. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer. I have plans to be there to the meeting to speak to this item.
Okay, thank you. I know we're going to have to substitute this to put in some other numbers and stuff. I'm just want to confirm though, this right now has no funding implications of it. It's just creating the office administratively, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The funding piece will be happening after the creation, as there will be some transferring involved.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Other questions or requests from my colleagues on that paper? All right, item 22-01873. This is an application and some with United Way to do some tax time connect planning grant. Who will be speaking to this from the administration? Anybody? All right, Ms. Linda, let's check with Mr. Pace to see if we can find out who will be presenting on this one. And also any questions or requests from my colleagues on that? All right, next item number 13, 22-01875, amendment number 1 with some workers' comp third-party administration services. Will Commissioner Smith be speaking to this one?
No, Jerry Deloach should be speaking to
Mr.
you.
Deloach.
That one.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, if Mr. Deloach, is he on? I don't see him on. If so, yeah, there he is. He's I see he's on hold for some reason. Someone's just gonna have to walk us through what's going on with this in terms of the procurement challenges. And then the notion of going to a month to month for a whole year, is that, yeah, hopefully the explanation of the procurement issue will explain the month to month for 12 months versus a different period of time. All right, other questions or requests for that one? All right, so takes us to item 14, which is 22-01876, Councilmember Hillis's paper. This has to do with the case management system for the Office of the Solicitor. There is an accompanying resolution, which is number, which I don't see right away, but yeah, there is an accompanying resolution that we'll take together.
Number 17, Mr. Chair, number 17.
Yeah. Number 17, thank you. Who from the administration will be presenting this? And this is the case management system for the Office of the Solicitor. Anyone? All right, Ms. Linda, we're gonna have to check with Mr. Pace on this one as well. And yeah, I think we'll need a I don't know if they've been discussing this in public safety or not, but we'll need a lot of background information on the system and why we need it and what's going on. All right, other questions or requests for this one? All right, that takes us to item, resolutions, item number 16, 22-R4700, special procurement with Lake Charlotte Nature Preserve Carbon Credit Program. Who will be speaking to this paper?
This is Chandra Farley. Our Deputy Chief Sustainability Officer, John R. Seidel, will be speaking to this item.
All right, questions or requests? Just pointing out, we're going to need to amend this paper to put all the procurement documents on onto it. But any questions? All right, number 17 we just talked about. That's Councilmember Hillis's papers. It takes us to 18. This is my paper regarding University of Georgia's Carl Vinson Institute to do some professional development services. Who will be speaking to this from the administration?
Good afternoon, Councilmember Juan. This is Yolanda Carr. I'll be speaking to this legislation.
Okay. All right, looks pretty straightforward. I know we're going to have to amend it to add some procurement documents on it, but any questions or requests from my colleagues on that paper? All right, number 19, 22-R4707. It's a GSA cooperative purchasing agreement with Vertosoft for Workiva Cloud Services. Who will be speaking to this one?
Yolanda Carr. I don't know if you recall, Councilmember Juan, I was speaking last week regarding Workiva, and this is a replacement.
Okay, all right. So you'll be speaking to this on Wednesday?
Yes, sir, I will be.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, questions or requests? All right, item 20, Councilmember Amos's paper to accept a one-year fellowship, one local democracy fellow in intergovernmental affairs. Who will be speaking to this one?
Kenyatta Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Pace, Ms. Mitchell, are you speaking to this? Or is Mr. Pace?
Miss Mitchell is, I'm sorry, Mr.
Okay.
Chair, I didn't know she was on the call.
Okay, all right. Pretty straightforward. Questions or requests for Ms. Mitchell in advance of Wednesday? All right, 22-R4711, Councilmember Dozier's paper for Granicus short-term rental software. Who will be speaking to this?
This is Jordan Williams with Department of City Planning. Greg Pace, our Director of the Office of Buildings, will be speaking to this.
All right, can you relay a message to Mr. Pace? I mean, this will be, I know that they have been talking about this in CDHS committee in terms of short-term rentals, but it'd be nice to have just a quick brief on the status of that. Also, there is another companion paper, a related paper going through CDHS to do another 90-day extension to, and I don't know if this is all related, but yeah, just if you can make sure he can answer questions or provide us an update of where everything stands.
I'll relay that.
Great, thank you, sir. And then just want to note too that we will need to amend this to attach the procurement documents on Wednesday as well. Other questions or requests from my colleagues? All right, item number 22, which is 22-R4717. It's a task order for Rubio and Sons. This is for construction of Center for Divergent Services. Who will be speaking to this?
Good afternoon, Chairman Juan. Commissioner Santel will be speaking to this.
Perfect. All right. Questions or requests from my colleagues on this one? All right. 22-R4719. Count the Jasons. This termination of the lease for the Atlanta City Employees Credit Union. Who will be speaking to this one from the administration? All right. Linda will follow up with Mr. Pace on that one. I do have.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yeah,
What
Mr.
number
Pace, yeah.
was that?
Number 23, which is 22-R4719. This is the lease termination with the credit union.
Yeah, I'll get with someone from Commissioner Santil's office. I believe they'll They may speak to this item.
All right, the one question I do have for this is that I understand, I believe that there is a termination clause or payment or penalty or fee, I should say. And I'm just curious if someone can speak to that on Wednesday and how those funds move, if that is the case, how those funds move back through the city.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. So we'll just wait to hear from you in terms of who will be speaking to that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, item 22-R4777, it's a renewal option for IBM Maximo Asset Management Software. Who will be speaking to this one?
Hello, Daphne Rockley again. I'll be speaking to that.
Great. Questions for Ms. Rackley in advance of Wednesday? Okay, we're getting to some of the good big ones. 22-R4778, this is a task order adding almost $12 million for parks. Who will be speaking to this?
Good afternoon, council member. This is Alvin Dotson, Deputy Commissioner, Parks and Rec.
Okay, Mr. Dodson, so you'll be speaking to this on Wednesday?
Yes.
I believe these are coming out of the 2022 bonds. Is that the source of funds? Is that correct?
Yes, majority is coming out of the bond fund.
Okay, and then same with item number 27, which is 22-R4780, that has another $17.5 million. Are there project lists associated with these first two tranches?
Yeah, we're taking some out of vertical and horizontal. We have 71 projects.
Okay.
And this allows us to get some of the low hanging fruit because
Great.
some of these have long lead items on them.
And can you make sure you have those lists for us on Wednesday? I think just that we're aware. I think in as we're starting to move through these, and especially given the dollar amounts, it'd be good just for transparency purposes to know what they are.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Other questions or requests for Mr. Dodson? And will you also be speaking to the other one, 22-R4780?
Both of them, yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Ms. Linda, if you'll remind me, let's go ahead. Let's take those two together on Wednesday while we have Mr. Dodson at the mic.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, 22-R4779. It's a task order for HCR construction. This is for the finance department. Question, or who will be presenting this one?
Good afternoon again, Commissioner Santel will be speaking to this as well.
Perfect. All right, and yeah, and Ms. Linda and I confirmed that these are the funds, the sorts of funds on this were the residual bond dollars, correct? That we saw several cycles ago.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, CFO Ball. All right, other questions or requests on that? All right, and the last resolution is 22-R4781, special procurement with Carbine Inc. for police. Who will be speaking to this one?
Good afternoon. This is Yolanda Pascal. Director Arnold with E911 will be speaking to this.
Okay. Questions or requests from my colleagues on this one? All right. So we have two new dual referreds that are both going to Community Development and Human Services first. So we'll see what they do with those tomorrow afternoon, and whether they'll be before us on Wednesday. And then papers held in committee, I understand item number 48, which we talked about earlier, will be coming off. And then also item number 42, annexation paper will be coming off as well. Are there any other papers held that need to be addressed on Wednesday that we're not aware of? All right. The last thing I'll say is at our, not this meeting, but the final meeting, committee meeting of 2022, we're going to pull back up the 2022 goals and objectives and just give a status report. There may be some that we didn't get to that we might just suggest to next year's FEC committee to pick back up, but just be looking for that that wrap up on our December 14th meeting. Anything else from anybody else for the good of the order? All right, have a great rest of your Monday. I will see everybody at 1:30 on Wednesday. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.